Hey everyone, it's Jeff Farina with Pocketnow.com. When we first received the Samsung Continuum from Verizon Wireless, we were very excited to get it unboxed. In that unboxing video, we just took a quick look at what to expect when you first boot the device up, as well as a brief overview of the hardware. Well, now it's time to go into depth and go into more detail in our hardware overview of the Samsung Continuum. Let's get started. And we're back with the Samsung Continuum. Now, we've mentioned that this is actually a very unique device, and in this video we're going to start to tell you why, and we'll continue that in our software overview video. And the reason for that, it actually has a secondary ticker screen down here. Now, we're going to bring the device closer so you can actually see the reflection, and hopefully this is able to be seen on camera. We have the main screen here, as you can see, which is the Super AMOLED screen. Then we're going to have a black trim, so it's actually a separation here, then followed by the ticker. So you're going to have your Android capacitive buttons here, and then you'll have your ticker screen down here at the bottom. Now, the top main screen is a 3.4-inch screen. It's once again a Super AMOLED screen that has a resolution of 480 by 800, so it's a relatively high resolution screen. And the bottom screen is also going to be Super AMOLED, however it's much smaller at 1.8 inches with a resolution of 480 by 96. Now, before we turn the screen on and actually give you a quick look, we're actually going to go ahead and take a look at the rest of the device first. As you'll see, you're going to have the Samsung as well as the Verizon Wireless branding. And if you turn the device over, you're going to see the new Galaxy S logo, signifying to you this is actually a Galaxy S device. Now, let's go ahead and start on the right side with our quick hardware tour. On the right side, we're going to have the camera button, as you'll see here. We're also going to have the micro SD card slot. Now, in this slot itself, you'll actually have a card pre-installed, and that's going to be an 8 GB card. However, this is capable of handling up to 32 gigs. One great little tidbit that's typically looked over is the device also has some internal storage on its own, measuring at around 2 GB. Now, after we've installed many of our applications, as well as the initial boot up, we're seeing about 1.62 GB to be exact. So, if you round down to 1.5 gig plus the 8 for the memory card, you of course have the 9.5. But if you do add a 32, you actually can increase to 33.5 gigabytes if you so desire. Moving to the top of the device next, you're going to see the power and lock and unlock button, as well as your 3.5mm headphone jack. Next, on the left side, we're going to have the volume rocker up and down, as well as that nicely placed micro USB port. A lot of the Samsung devices have had that port on the top. It seems that this one now is on the side, and personally we hope that this stays that way. The top kind of makes things somewhat difficult with some situations, whether it be a car dock or a home dock, whatever. This will actually open up the possibility for a home dock, which we'll actually go over in our software overview. And then lastly, on the bottom, you're going to have the actual microphone port placed on the right side, which is somewhat tough to see. Now, on the back of the device, you're going to see the 5-megapixel autofocusing camera with LED flash, as well as your speaker port, or your speaker grill, down here, as well as up here. There's actually going to be two. So you're going to have the stereo speaker sound coming out of this device. If we go ahead and pop the battery cover off, you'll be greeted to the 1500 milliamp hour battery, which is becoming typical in Samsung fashion, at least on the Galaxy S line of devices. Samsung is estimating it to provide around 7 hours of talk time and about 312 hours of standby time. We'll see how that performs in our testing. At the heart of the Continuum is a 1 GHz Hummingbird processor. Samsung's Hummingbird line of processors is very highly regarded currently in the smartphone, especially the Android market. Now, lastly, before we get to showing you those two different screens, for connectivity, you're going to have wireless 802.11 BG and N, as well as Bluetooth 3.0. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, let's go ahead and turn on the screen. Now, as you'll see here, you're going to have two different screens, the main 3.4-inch as well as the smaller ticker at the bottom. We'll actually go ahead and unlock this real quick. And this is just going to be a brief look because we're actually going to cover this more in our software overview of this device. Now, as you'll see, different notifications will actually pop up down here, while you'll have your typical main Android feed and Android display up at the top. Now, if you want to see us go into more depth with this ticker, make sure you stay tuned for our next video, which will be the software overview. As always, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and please give this video a thumbs up. We'll see you soon.